With the warmer weather that we're starting to see, I've been seeing a lot more sunscreen in the stores, so I thought maybe I would look up and see exactly what we're supposed to look for and how we're supposed to use our sunscreen. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I looked up some articles to see when sunscreen came about, and I found one by ThoughtCo, and it was written by Mary Bellis, and she says that some chemists started playing around with stuff and made up some sunscreen way back in the 1930s. And then in 1944, pharmacist Benjamin Green came up with sunscreen that was specifically for the soldiers that were over in the Pacific during World War II. Back then it was petroleum base, and it was red and it was nasty. Later on, Coppertone bought his patent, and in the 50s they had come to develop what we know today as sunscreen that's more of a lotion like we use. With my fair skin, I get burned every year. You would think that I had learned by now that I need to use sunscreen every time, but I don't. So that's one of the reasons I thought I need to look up and see what I need to be paying attention to. I'm usually not very picky about what brand I use, but I do try to make sure that the SPF number is high enough that I feel like I'm being protected. So the three things that we're going to look at is the broad spectrum aspect, the SPF factor, and how we're supposed to apply it and how often we should be applying it. So first of all, the broad spectrum, when you buy sunscreen, on most of them it will say broad spectrum. This just means that it's protecting you from both types of sun rays. There's UVB rays, which are burning rays, UVA rays, which are aging rays, and we want to make sure that we're getting protection from both. Most sunscreen, I think, is broad spectrum nowadays, so it's probably going to be on all of them that you see. You're also going to see an SPF number. This one is 30, and the American Academy on Dermatology recommends that you use at least a 30 or higher. The higher the number, the more protection you're getting from those rays. No sunscreen is going to protect you 100%, but we just need to be doing the best that we can. And the third thing that we're going to look at is the amount that you should be applying and how often you should be applying it. The American Academy of Dermatology recommends 1 ounce of the lotion, which is the amount that will fit in a shot glass. To me, that seems like a lot, but an adult should be using 1 ounce of sunscreen and putting it on all exposed skin when you go outside. If you're using the spray kind, they say that you should do 4 passes over each area and then rub it in so that it's getting complete coverage. We're supposed to apply it 15 minutes prior to going out in the sun, and then reapply it every 2 hours while we're outside. If you're swimming or sweating, then you need to reapply it more often, because even though sunscreen is water resistant, it is not waterproof, and it's not going to protect you if you're in the water or sweating. It will come off. So the three things again that we went over very quickly were the broad spectrum, the SPF factor, and then how much and how often that we're supposed to apply it. The broad spectrum again protects you from both kinds of sun rays. The SPF, the higher it is, the better protection you're going to have. And then we should apply it 15 minutes before going out, every 2 hours thereafter, and make sure that you're using the right amount. Lotion 1 ounce, the spray 4 passes, and then rub it in. I urge all of you to use the sunscreen this summer every time you go out. Even if it's not hot out, the sun's rays are still going to get to you. And we need to try and protect ourselves from those dangerous rays, because that's what causes skin cancer. I do have a handout with the information that I shared and a couple more statistics and things that you guys can have. And thank you for listening.